In this video, I want to discuss Dan Clancy's response to the Emiru assault situation. So I guess ahead of time, trigger warning for assault if that is a sensitive topic to you. We will be discussing the horrible thing that happened at TwitchCon with the streamer Emiru, who's one of the bigger streamers on Twitch, and I'm talking about Dan Clancy's response. So the reason I want to talk about it is because I feel this was a very vague response to it, and I think there's a discussion to be had around this. So those of you that don't know, I will show you the clip right now, so trigger warning for probably the next 20 seconds while I show you the clip of what exactly happened. All right, here's the clip. Let's watch it so you can see. And this dude right here just grabbed her and went up to her and like tried to kiss her in the neck. And I have another clip where you see this dude, and I'll get to that in a second.
Whoa.
Now notice right here, you can see the security guard right here just pushed him and then walked away. So the dude has got away scotch-free at this point. And this is a fan cam, I believe, that's going.
Crazy, holy shit, what the fuck was that?
Yep, so what you just saw was fucking insane. Emiru actually went ahead and addressed this situation right here. So you can watch Emiru's video on it on her channel. Also, Emiru right here has talked about how her favorite security guard once got banned, and it kind of puts on full display what a bad job this security guard did. And we're going to get into kind of the whole thing about security and streamers and all that in a second. But she talked about how her favorite security guard was banned for his certain actions, which in my mind, this original security guard was doing the right thing, and the new security guard is doing the wrong thing. So this is fucking insane. Let's watch this and talk about it.
I don't think that's true. Okay, maybe I should talk about this. Whatever, who cares? I had a security guard 2 years ago where there was a guy following me around TwitchCon, and he like asked him to stop multiple times. My guard asked him, and the guy wouldn't stop. So he grabbed the guy, but he didn't like hurt him. He was just holding the guy until like the con security came. And then for some reason they're like, yeah, because your security guard touched him, he's like perma-banned from the venue forever.
And that's fucking insane, because this security guard was doing the right thing, apprehending the person at the time until, I assume, police arrived. Because like in this circumstance I just showed you, the dude should have been there held until cops came so they could be arrested, because, you know, that assault is a crime after all. For those of you that didn't seem to notice for any reason, it seems like there's some people that are on Twitter who are just acting as though this is nothing crazy. Like this right here, there's a comment. Someone says, "Generation so soft. She did not get assaulted. Oh my god, it was an uncomfortable hug, cringy affection attempt. I can't stand you streamers, man." And yeah, this was after someone shared the clip of the assault. And right here, Valkyrie even said, "Seeing Emiru get assaulted at Twitch banned her personal preferred bodyguard from being there to protect her, and watching the guy walk away in the clip is incredibly disappointing. Stay safe, everybody, but love to you, Emmy." So, like I said, Emmy has actually gone on Twitter here and addressed it. I assume she's going to address it once again once she gets on camera in front of her own stream again outside of the TwitchCon event. But she did actually, like I said, address it here in this video when she was put into a conference room to kind of calm down from the situation, of which she ended up going right back into TwitchCon. I guess potentially just wanted to continue on with the event. And it's by no means is this okay. I think this has a lot to do with the protection of Twitch and its streamers. And I think there's a lot of parasocial behavior that's getting, quite frankly, way out of hand. But in this event, Dan Clancy did respond to the situation when Taylor Lorenz interviewed Dan Clancy, and she said, I asked Dan Clancy about Emiru getting assaulted at TwitchCon, whether creators can trust the platform to keep them safe. Full interview on the YouTube channel podcast feed Wednesday. So I think we'll get into this discussion in a second, but let's play this out and talk a little more in a second.
And others. Obviously, we saw one Twitch streamer yesterday, Emiru, get assaulted by a male fan, and a lot of streamers have, especially female streamers, have talked about, the danger that they feel from these sort of toxic, I guess, parasocial kind of creeps. What are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon.
And right off her saying they're too scared to come to TwitchCon, Emiru pointed out that it was like part of her obligation to come to TwitchCon. So she basically had to go, and women going to something like TwitchCon is already a scary event. So people that especially are top streamers, not just streamers, but everybody that is there to do a meet and greet or to have like interactions, just the overall premise of the building and the overall inside of it, and especially close to Twitch streamers, should have security, not just security, but like security that has legitimate security training. Because I saw this topic at hand, people are like, well, just, certain security won't do anything. You need ones that have been appropriately trained. And it's clear that the security guard that was with, or quote unquote, with, that barely, aka barely did his job, just, wasn't trained properly. And as a result, we're seeing what the aftermath of a security guard that's not being trained properly. So I think it's important to have properly trained security to apprehend these people. But let's continue.
This year, just in case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
The safety of our creators is a top priority.
I hate this line. I hate this line so much. Any horrible situation, like someone, like this situation, not to be gruesome, but this is the truth. She could have literally been stabbed. I don't know how many times I'll have to repeat myself in this. And there's going to be people who are like, bro, no. Like, yes, she could have been stabbed in this instance, in that literal 2-3 seconds, and she could have died, okay? That's how serious this stuff is. And I know it's hard for men to grasp this because as a dude, you don't experience stuff like this as frequent as women do. Can it happen to a guy? Yes, but women is the front and foremost thing they're thinking about in a situation like this. So let's continue.
The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming...
Also, too, that response is very corporate speak, and I don't know if he should have started this off. I'm not trying to be like a freak about this or be very nitpicky, but just being like, yeah, the Twitch's safety is at our top priority. Like, you don't need to say that. First off, that's like a rule that's like written in the fine lines of Twitch that like even if you're not the top guy at Twitch, everyone like knows this is a thing that they think about, but it's how they go about it, right? So you don't need to say that. Like this clearly didn't. Their so-called security measures didn't work in this, especially because Twitch literally banned her personal preferred security guard. And because the guy was banned at that venue, the guy was not allowed to go there to, defend her in the appropriate way that would have taken care of this guy. So it's clear to me that there's an issue here with Twitch that needs to be discussed. This is not something to just blow off with those corporate words. Like, corporate words mean nothing. When someone's been assaulted, someone's been harassed, attacked, anything like that, the corporate words aren't just going to be like, yeah, well, that's it, hands off, all right, move on, da-da-da. Like, no.
In many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there, okay? It's very different, when
That's kind of also a weird aspect to bring up in this circumstance, to go, well, yeah, you can just ban the freaks and then they aren't there. No, even if you ban somebody, it literally stops them from being able to chat. Like, they can still watch you, they can still stalk you, they can still stream snipe you. There's a whole litany of things. even in the event you got banned actually from the stream, I don't know if that's possible, but let's just use that as an example. The person can make another account and just go back to the stream and stalk the person. And, you know, people that are, I think in this day and age, when there's a lot of like people that have, like, I would say separation from society and don't know how to like operate in society. And, you know, a lot of people with like severe mental issues out there. There's a whole play of things that are at play here that can cause situations like this. Some people are just absolutely fucking insane, and they'll just go up and harass a woman and act as if that's, you know, normal, par for the course. And that is especially prevalent with women streamers, and it gets even more prevalent when the streamer is a large content creator such as Emiru. So banning is not going to do anything in the grand scheme of things. Like, you can ban someone, there's still going to be a clip of them on Twitter. Like, you can still find them elsewhere. Banning does not do anything. Holy smokes.
I use other short form content and people say all sorts of stuff. Well, I can't stop that. But when I live stream, they basically don't bother me. Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that we care deeply about, securing this environment. You know, we're looking very closely at everything that happened there, and I care deeply about Emmy. She's a friend of mine, and so I want to see how we can support her. This is just something we have to keep working on. I think everyone identifies our tools in terms of trust and safety as the leaders in the industry about helping creators, but that means there's always more work to be done because that's the world we live in.
And I will say this, and this is not to run defense by any metrics whatsoever, mark my words, but I have seen a ton of times now where Dan Clancy has actually individually spoke to creators, such as him speaking to Taylor Lorenz here. I've seen him speak to Sandwich in the past. I've seen him in other top content creators' streams. He's good about talking to the individual creator and trying to meet creators' needs. I think it just is a matter of adjusting to this wave of parasocial insanity and making security like heightened to the highest degree possible, and not just, you know, letting people through the gate because, oh, I'm with this person or whatever it might be. I think it's especially in an event like this where weirdos know that the top streamers or whatever are going to be there. The security needs to be heightened because of the online parasocial weirdness that goes on and people stalking. Like, being online is, I always say this, but it's still like a new thing, and seeing how people operate in the real world to people who are online is still a very gray area, unfortunately, and I think that needs to be taken care of in particular. So Twitch should have its highest level of security, and even higher level of security around, you know, the meet and greets and streamers. I'm just like, I guess I'm flabbergasted. I haven't used that word, but just mind blown that security is not up to par at this particular event. Like, it's 2025. We should have this ironed out by now. I think we saw a taste of what the parasocial weirdos can get like early on in the times of streaming, but then we saw it even more during the pandemic. So I think that part is clear. It's just there's not enough people paying attention to how deep harassment can run. And it needs to be talked about. It needs to be studied. It needs a lot of scrutiny, in my opinion.
Demi had posted earlier today that I guess this fan was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon. Why should streamers trust Twitch to keep them safe at TwitchCon? Because I feel like simultaneously this has been such a secure event to the point that even like journalists have had struggled. Like, you know, it is very secure. But here's this man that just walks up and is somehow able to bypass all these things. So why should they trust the platform when slip-ups or, you know, issues like this have happened?
Well, I mean, as you know, I think you toured some of what we do in terms of security. The reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is putting themselves out there, right? And so, you know, we try to work very closely with each creator about what they want to do and what works for them, right? So I don't want to get into any, specifics or details, but part of that is working with creators and, trying to find them. Right now, we're definitely, ramping it up to make sure creators know that we have the resources there to help them figure out what's right.
So it sounds like they want to take measures. I just see this as a situation that is something they should have, like I said, taken these measures ahead of time. But not only that, but I do think that it's just an ever-changing world that needs extra scrutiny on a thing like this. And I think it's also going to do a number on creators, especially women, who want to potentially attend TwitchCon, or it's going to maybe have a lot of even just other creators on the platform second guess themselves, like, do I want to go to TwitchCon? And I know it's kind of easy as a dude to look at this situation. I'm not saying I feel this way, but I'm saying as a dude just on the outside that's like maybe a watcher, not necessarily a creator, to look at this and go, oh yeah, it's easy. I could just walk in there. I'll be okay. But it's at the end of the day, like, security's really, really, really important in these circumstances. So I think a lot of creators you're going to see a lot of creators who maybe back out of this for quite some time, if not indefinitely, because I don't know. It seems like something that they feel there's still a gray area on until it's 100% locked in. I think they're probably gonna then make a decision from there. Twitch did respond to this on Twitter, and Twitch wrote kind of the similar corporate response. Safety is our highest priority. Behavior displayed by the individual yesterday involving a high-profile streamer was unacceptable. In line with TwitchCon security protocols, law enforcement and event security were on site and responded to the incident. We immediately blocked the individual from returning to TwitchCon premises, and they are banned from indefinitely from Twitch, both online and in-person events. We are coordinating with the Impact Creators team per our standard protocols to incorporate law enforcement investigations. Okay, so they are taking this to law enforcement. We have increased security at the meet and greet to any check-in point, and we'll have additional security personnel surrounding the participating streamers. If you RSVP for the meet and greet, please know that we are unable to accommodate +1s. So maybe that was a problem too, like the whole like +1s kind of was the gray area here too. So that was potentially an issue. Twitch has zero tolerance for harassment and acts that inhibit the safety of security of our community. And I want to see if I can find this clip here real quickly, because I believe it was under Valkyrie's tweet here. Yeah, look at this right here. You can literally see the guy getting away scotch-free. Look, the arrows this guy, watch.
Yeah, I got a hashtag get
right
back.
over here. There he is on the right-hand side. Watch. Just getting away scotch-free.
Cool,
look over his left shoulder now. Boom. Scotch-free. Out of there. That's fucking insane. I think Twitch needs to do better. I think this is something that needs to be scrutinized. I've really said what I can say. I think you should go watch Emiru's video if you want to watch this whole thing, about 48 minutes. And you should also watch or also read Emiru's tweet on this right here at EMIRU on Twitter if you want to see more on this information. But there's my video on the Emiru and Dan Clancy TwitchCon situation. If you enjoyed this video, you want to get more videos on drama and internet news, this is your channel. This is not a drama video, by the way. This is a video to talk about the harassment of the streamer Emiru. And this is not to be confused with drama, because it's not drama, okay? I was just letting you know that's what I talk about mainly on my channel, and every now and then we talk about subject matter like this one. So if you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will talk to you later. All right.